Man. Source, I've been waiting for this day, my brother. It's that time, bro. It's the first week of the NFL season, man. Finally, it is here. Week one. How are you feeling today?
I'm great, man. How you feeling? I'm excited like you are. Shoot, I'm ready to get this thing popping. Been waiting for months and months, and I try to pay as little attention to football as I can until it's really time. But now it's really time.
It's really time, man. Like we were just talking a couple of weeks ago. It's like I don't know if I'm quite ready. Like it's just jumping on us. But as the days and days and days drew near, I'm like super excited. I didn't sleep a lot last night. Um, yeah, didn't sleep a lot. Woke up this morning ready to get things done and out the way, man, so I can get ready to enjoy this day. I needed this, bro.
Wake up in the morning, got the yearning for herb. Oh, sorry, wrong.
I'm sure that was part of some people's routine. That's just and to each his own. It's all good. Ain't nothing in the world wrong with it.
Right.
Do what you do, man. So what you got on tap today? Anything special being cooked up?
Now, bro, I got nothing at all. Like literally nothing. Um, Only thing I did, I went live for like a half hour on TikTok just to talk about Hove and the 20th anniversary of the Blueprint. So I did that just for my own sake, just to do it. Um, and all I got is lineups, TV, MGM.
Okay.
Maybe I'll fold some clothes in the midst. I need some beer. I need some beer though. I'm trying to think. Am I going to go dry week one?
No.
Okay, fine. Then I have to go to the store after this. Wait, I have to wait till somebody come back home for me to go to the store after this. I should say.
No, you can't do that. No. You can't do that. Whether it's early in the day while the game's on or the evening game, something. But you can't go dry week one.
Good point. That's a good point.
You can take a week off, another part of the season, but not in week one. Can't do that, man.
This
Can't.
bowl of cereal is sponsored by Prime. As he pointed out, we're gonna do what we want to do.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
Here we are.
It is what it. Look, I was almost that close to eating this big bowl of watermelon before we got on, but I managed to finish it before we started. But if it went down, it just would have went down while we was on the air. Because that's what we do. What we
Mhm.
want to do. That's
Do what
our
we
show.
want.
Hey, bro. So look, man. You mentioned the lineups. We both got lineups to set. On the season-long fantasy end, this is the craziest day because week one there's usually not as many adjustments as there are the rest of the season because you haven't gotten to any in-game injuries. You pretty much feel like you know who's starting. Unless you just was lucky enough to draft like the bombest lineup in history where you got some guys that you stole that were supposed to be gone in the first couple of rounds and they were still sitting there in week 3 or 4. Like, golly, I'm adding a starter to my bench. When it comes to fantasy football, week one, that's not a whole lot of adjustments that you make as far as season long. The real strategy comes in that DFS, man. That DFS, and we got that thing popping over in the group. You know what I'm saying? FanDuel, things gonna jump off today. This is my favorite thing that we do in there when it comes to these money plays. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. The bad part is my junk gonna be terrible. I already know. I'm gonna go ahead and plan on in the group one. I'm looking at 18th as being positive. If I get to 18th place out of 20, cool. So I'm just giving y'all my money this week. But starting next week, it's gonna be on for real.
It's my thing. It's my thing. So we're gonna get that popping. Matter of fact, I got lineups to set when we are done with this. But we're gonna pick some games today like we do earlier. So week one of this season is no exception. But before we pick these games, we gotta talk about a couple of quick things. First of all, let's talk about these Ravens. And the reason we're gonna talk about them now is because we're not picking their game tomorrow night. I don't even know if we even think about their game too much. There's a potential to be ugly, but it's football. But man, the rash of injuries they've had at the running back position is crazy. I mean, they also lost a couple of people in the, a couple of DBs, but more notable, that was Peters. But that running back thing is crazy. So now they come back with a stack of guys that we all know the names. They signed Le'Veon Bell. They signed Devontae Freeman, got a couple of cats on the practice squad. They just signed Murray, from the Saints, which we've been hearing. Latavius Murray, we've been hearing about the possibility that he might have been gone. It was more about a money situation than anything else. So we're looking at, as of right now, as we speak, from what we know, the starting running back this week may be one rookie from BYU, Tyson Williams, for the Ravens.
They done brought back. They look like the Lakers, baby. Looking like the Lakers over there, John. If you are old and played well at some point in time, welcome to the backfield. It's gonna be interesting. I think Murray will end up being the dude eventually, but man, I don't think Freeman is gonna be there long. I think Freeman is I won't say the worst, but I think he's struggled the most recently out of the four. Some would say Bell, but I say Freeman, because Freeman been on squads and then been like, all right, peace.
Yeah, Freeman seems like the guy that would be out. I think, Le'Veon, we talked about him and things didn't pan out the way some of us thought it would in Kansas City. But if there's an offense that could help revive him a little bit with the style of play they play, the dump off, some of the misdirections, the way he runs, his particular style, this would be the offense that might help him, revitalize just a little bit. None of us are projecting like stardom. And we do think that, of course, Murray is going to definitely factor into this. I mean, the Ravens have always run multiple backs. We would see when Ingram was there, you would always see them run 2, sometimes 3 backs a game, and in their scheme. And they got the same coaches pretty much, so this probably won't change. But that's just crazy. That is just crazy.
And with Le'Veon, only thing I can say is, it's hard for me to wish somebody well to talk bad about Andy Reid.
Yep.
And I'm just going to leave it at
that. But we're going to talk about Andy a little bit, man, a little bit later. But check this out, though. What happens tomorrow if Tyson Williams just goes off? Because you were probably thinking that he was going to be, most teams that carry 3 running backs maybe. Right. And then that third running back especially usually has to contribute on special teams. And that was what they were factoring in with him. But just what happens if he just goes off?
Yes, ride him till the wheels fall off, I guess. Especially as a rookie, because you don't know what you will get one way or the other. So if he starts out hot, let him rock. It ain't like you need to put Le'Veon out there, or he's proven recently that he's going to be that guy or reliable. The only one you would want to give a chance to for sure is Murray, in my opinion. Murray's got to get a chance because Murray plays well when he gets out there. He's not always out there. He wasn't always out there with New Orleans. So we're going to see.
Hey, I tell you another storyline, man. We got 3 cats coming back from last year that all went out due to injury. And I just wanted to see what you think is realistic expectations for today. And we're going to start with Christian McCaffrey today. And the crazy thing is about this game, it's so many storylines. He's coming back. Possible revenge game. Sam Darnold against the Jets, which, by the way, we weren't picking this game, but I quietly find this probably one of my favorite 3 games on today's schedule. It's just so much going on. Yeah, it's just so much, man. Young quarterback, Zach Wilson on the other side. It's just so much. But what would be realistic expectations for McCaffrey, you think, today?
$125 overall.
125 period.
Total yards, yeah.
Them playing the Jets though. Like I was saying, I could see this dude getting 3 touchdowns on the day. And I thought about it. I was like, shoot, I could see this dude getting 3 touchdowns in the first half.
They got to score 3 touchdowns, though. Are we sure they're going to score 3 touchdowns?
They have the potential. I don't think Sam Donald is that. I don't know if we really know what Sam Donald is. So I'm going to say that there's going to be the fact that he wants to show and prove against his former team. And we mentioned in our previews for the season, I like their receivers. I mean, for what they're trying to do, I like Robbie Anderson and more. I like their receivers, so that could open up some things to where they have to respect it, and McCaffrey has a chance to get busy.
Whew. I don't know, Prime. I mean, I think McCaffrey gonna do what he does, but I don't want to overstate him. I don't want to put too much on him out the gate. That's why I say 125.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's always got the potential to do what you said. I would agree with that.
Saquon Barkley's returning today. They say he's going to be active. And they're they're playing the Denver Broncos today, a team that I'm very high on their defense. Mm-hmm. I think the Denver Bronco defense before this season is over is going to be really special, barring any injury. But Saquon is back. What you think is realistic for him in week 1?
I just don't want him to get re-injured or nicked up. Anything that's going to affect him for the rest of the season. I hope they're not rushing him back and throwing him out there too soon to the point where, it affects him ongoing during this whole season or any part of the season, really. Because it ain't like he got to be out there today. He don't have to be out there today. Yeah. So hopefully they feel that confident, that comfortable with him being out there that they're doing this when it's not necessary.
We may have to temper our expectations a little bit. The reason I say that, they turn around and play again on Thursday night. They got a short winner. They're playing against the Washington Redskins defense, I believe, this coming Thursday. So I don't know if we see the full workload at all from Saquon Barkley. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get 15 total touches the whole game. We just don't know.
You would think they would. I mean, they must feel real comfortable, man, because you would think that they'd wait till Thursday, since that is a divisional matchup. And it's 4 days away, but I know they're not putting him out here today for him to miss Thursday.
Right.
So they must feel real confident.
And the last guy I got for the day is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was slinging it before he went down with injury last year. Things were starting to look real good. He's coming back. As I mentioned before, he has a packed receiving core. And there's been a little trash talk between the two teams. Here the last couple of days, but they're going against Minnesota, another team who actually secondary outside of really of Smith is kind of depleted a little bit. They didn't play well against the pass last year, so we don't know what their new DBs are going to look like this year. Some of the new pieces on defense, but Joe Burrow is back. What's realistic expectations for him, you think?
I think Joe will get busy because, like you mentioned, he played well when he was out there before he got injured. And adding to that receiver core, I guess, addition by subtraction is taking away AJ Green addition at this point.
Probably is,
yeah. So I think he'll be fine. I do still wish he had Bernard in the backfield as a dump off option, but I think he'll be fine. See, I give him a good. Let's say it's Minnesota, 290, 300, 290, 300.
Yeah, I see that in a couple of touchdowns, at least a couple of touchdowns in the air. So hope he has a good debut. I like Joe Burrow, man.
Yeah,
I like Joe Burrow. And then lastly, we didn't talk about picking this game, but I guess we kind of could. I mean, but Mac Jones is taking over in New England.
Right.
Mac Jones, and he playing against Miami. And we know, say what you want to about Miami, a team that was with 10 wins last year. Decent defensively, one of the better secondaries in the league. He's got a tall task ahead of him, man. What you think about him today?
Well, the team seems to be confident in him. They seem very high on him coming out and being like a presence, a veteran type presence out the gate. So, bless me. Excuse me. So after the last couple seasons with the quarterback, well, not last couple, after last season's quarterback play, it can't be worse. It was bad last year, so it can't be worse. But with Belichick, you've always got a chance regardless of who's at the helm. So, but I think they'll throw him out there and let him rip. I think they're gonna let him rip.
You got two teams that you just don't know what's going to happen with the running backs too. I mean, Mac Jones is out there. We know how Belichick likes to do with his running backs. It might be this guy. This guy might start. May only Harris could be in for half a series, and then they bring somebody else in or at the goal line. And then kind of the same thing with Miami this time. We all expect Myles Gaskin to be the guy, but they got a crowded backfield now with Brown over there. Ahmed's still there. So that's going to be a very interesting game. I'm looking at the comments, man. I do. Tim said he got Miami with the W. I agree. I think Miami still wins this game. But I don't know if Mac Jones is going to play particularly bad or not. I mean, I think he has a chance, especially if they shorten the field for him, at least initially, to have a chance to definitely stay in in this one. But I mean, I like Miami in this game as well. I like everything that they're doing over there.
It's tough to pick against New England at the crib, though.
Yeah.
First game of the season, so Belichick's had however long to prepare for this thing. I can't pick. I don't even want to pick this one. Even in the pick'em in the pick'em sheets, I had two sheets. I think I had Miami on one and New England on the other because I'm not confident either way.
Yeah, it's tough because now I'm saying that, then you never know how Tua is going to play. We're talking about Mac Jones. We don't know how Tua is going to play. So this is a big game. It's a bigger game, I think, for Tua because he's in his second year, and they were already rumors of them actually entertaining, maybe trying to get their hands on another quarterback like Deshaun Watson already. Whereas, they're going to be patient with Mac Jones, no matter how he plays, because that's the guy that they really wanted, regardless to start. So a guy with his shirt off looks like he never been in the gym in his life. And probably could say that about me too, but I'm not a professional athlete.
That's right, Prime. That's the difference.
I'm a professional beer drinker.
Salute.
Tim said TB12 is gone. Yeah, them days over, Tim.
Long gone.
As far as they're concerned, anyway. All right, man, let's get into some of these games, man. So the game I want to start with, of course, has a lot of interest in the Sports Bar Podcast group.
Wait. Are you going to say the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
You know what? No, let's talk about that real quick. Then we'll get to that game. I do want to talk about that. I did mean to recap that. So what you think about that game Thursday night, man?
I don't think nothing, Brian. Nobody cares what I think. What do you think?
They probably care more about what you think than what I think. But anyway, it was a very good game. If you're going to start off a football season, that's the type of game that you want. It's not a blowout. You had two high-profile teams playing, a lot of stars out there. Neither team disappointed. Tampa Bay may not have played up to, especially defensively, of what we saw last year, but they balled out, especially offense. You saw how explosive that offense could possibly be. And I mentioned this to someone before, and also shout out to my brother out there, Zach, Sports Bar Podcast member Zachary Branch. He said the same thing. He thinks it's going to be a big season for Antonio Brown. They fully intended, they intend to use him as if he's the number one receiver. Forget that the slot guy, the third receiver. Brady fully intends to keep Gronk in the mix while everybody else is expecting him to decline. And we ain't just talking about in the mix. We're talking about him being a major part of moving those sticks. On the flip side, for the Dallas Cowboys, I loved the game. I loved just about everything they did. Dak looked really good in week one. I'm still a little more cautious than everybody else because I've seen this week-to-week thing. But, man, when have you seen a quarterback come off of what he came off of and just, get busy in the first game the way that he did, especially against that pass rush? A lot of times Dak was just standing there, and staying cool in the pocket even though the heat was coming, And then, now I'm mentioning, and you saw in my video, I know a lot of people, and I think you brought it up in the group too, were questioning the Dallas Cowboys and the run game. And, I'm the biggest critic of, one of the biggest critics of all, the way that Kellen Moore and them handled that offense and would, always want to pass. This one time, I have no problem with their game plan. One of the best defenses, may be the best overall front in the National Football League. They don't give up anything on the ground. why would you, when I didn't mention in the video, you gave, Zeke all that money. Why would you want to risk in game one running this man into that brick wall that many times in week one of a game when you got a long game, long season ahead of you, Source? Why do it? And then the game plan, look, it worked. No matter how much we hated, Dak Prescott throwing 58 passes, it worked. I would challenge anybody to try to tell me if the Cowboys would have tried to run the football, down the Tampa Bay's throat, that this game would have been close, because it wouldn't have. The Cowboys moved the sticks. They moved the chains by passing the football. And it worked. And why not? Tampa Bay had DBs going in and out of there. They got hurt. You got to challenge it, especially if you got one of the more elite receiving cores in the game. So, Now, I know Kellen Moore is going to let me down, because I really don't like the kid, but he's going to let me down. There's going to be games, I agree. And I remember you mentioned we'll see this revisited in November. Man, it's going to happen. They're going to have games where Zeke is not going to touch the football, bro. It's like he should. He's going to end up with 12 and 13 carries. Pollard's going to have another fat. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. This is what they do. This is what Kellen Moore wants to do. But for week one, he and McCarthy got it right. And they had a chance to win it.
The opinions here expressed by Prime are not those of the Sports Bar Podcast.
It should be.
But we're going to leave it at that. Let's go.
Well, I will say that there was a lot of people in the SBP that agreed on that with that point. But, yeah, just that 1 week. See, you saying that now, but we'd have tried to run to give Zeke 28 carries, Pollard another 7, and the score the other night would have been something like 38-17, bro. Yeah,
Okay.
So, yeah, just letting you know.
Sounds good.
And Caesar, we coming to whip that next week. But anyway, yeah. And speaking of
comments, where are these comments? Because is this live in the group?
No. Straight on the YouTube page.
Straight to the YouTube. Okay, gotcha.
Tim. Shout out to my dude. Tim said that he said I won $100. No one believed me that the Cowboys would score at least 28. Get that money, Tim. Get that. Be a smart man. Tim is a smart man. Tim's one of the smartest people we have in the Sports Bar Podcast group.
He's a gambling man.
He's a gambling man too. That's another reason he's one of my favorite guys, man. He's one of my favorite. First ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah, first ballot Hall of Famer. But speaking of the Chargers, Caesar's Chargers, they played the Washington Redskins today. And I don't know, because I didn't comment. Did Caesar say anything about going to that game?
Yeah, he was going.
Yeah, I remember. I thought I saw earlier in the year when the schedule, he said he was going to go, but I hadn't seen anything recently.
He said something last night.
Yeah. Caesar, I hope you have a good time, bro. I hope you have a good time. And I'm rooting for you guys to this week.
Of course.
Look at the next week, but this week. Man, the Chargers got a tough one, though, man. They're coming. Think about it. You're coming all the way from the West Coast, bro. All the way from the West Coast to play a 1 o'clock game against a opponent that had a pretty darn good defense last year. But this game ought to be fun.
This is one of the games that I try to avoid in my gambling ventures because I'm not confident. I'm not super confident either way. I do think that maybe the traveling across country might be overblown just for this week, just because it's week 1. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping they got here a little early and kind of got adjusted as opposed to having to rush like they normally would when they have a game the week before. So hopefully that makes a difference. Looking forward to Justin Herbert getting busy. Shout out to my cousin, Devontae Davis, who pointed out, which I didn't know, that Joe Reed is out. Joe Reed is out. Not that he was a big part of the offense last season, but he is from the area of hour 15 minutes away from the 804. Is that the 804? I don't know what the area code is off the top of my head, but he's from like the Charlotte Courthouse area, and he is out possibly for the season. We shall see how things go for him. But I'm looking forward to Justin Herbert getting busy. I expect more from the Chargers than most people, I think. I expect him to be pretty good. And I do expect Herbert to go off. Maybe not like he did when he first started, when he first came in last season for Tyrod, but I do expect big things from Herbert, and hopefully he'll have a healthy receiving core for the full amount of the season.
Yeah, the big question for me in today's game is the health of Austin Eckler because we've been hearing, he was nicked up, held out of practice. He seems to indicate that he's fine. Is he going to play? Just how healthy is he? And you need to be 100% or as close to it playing against this particular defense. But the real thing that I'm watching is how does Fitzmagic play against this secondary? Looks like my man James is going to be on the field today. Also, the rookie, Asante Samuel, is probably going to be tested a little bit. But Fitzmagic is going to sling it though. But how is he going to play against this defense in this secondary? Which is always have the opportunity to make turnovers, man. That's what I'm really watching. And so his arm against that secondary. But I'm rolling with the Chargers, man. I think they're going to give us a really good game. I think that this is a game that'll come down to the end. But I think Herbert and the boys pull it out 24-23. But I actually think both quarterbacks play pretty well.
I've got the Chargers 26-24. So that's very, as always, we have close scores and similar opinions on the game. Fitzpatrick is going to be interesting to watch because we've seen him come in during seasons and just come in as a replacement, whether starting or off the bench, like during a game, and light it up immediately. But I don't know if he has the same effect when he's starting week one. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hold that job for a minute and lead Washington to the promised land.
Hey, shout out to your cousin. Don said, first of all, he let you know it's the 434 area code.
Thanks, Cuzzo. Appreciate it.
And bro says, shout out to the bro, man. That's my guy, man. Him and JB might be the only 49er fans that I like in this whole world. I got a cousin, man, that I love him, but I don't like him. He's a 49er fan too. But yeah, your boy said that Cuzzo said that he watching us on the big screen this morning. My man, 50 grand.
Let me make sure this joke clean. All right, we're gonna be on the big screen. We got to make sure.
AD, man, get the wrinkles out.
Yeah, fight. It's a fight.
No doubt, Tim Fitz is a gambler, so it could be some picks in there, man. But this is gonna be a fun game to watch. And Caesar, if y'all lose this game, I hope. You know what I'm saying? I hope you have the longest wait getting out of that parking lot in history.
Oh, that's funny. He's gonna introduce himself to some people and be tailgating with Washington fans by the time when we finish this podcast for real.
Yeah, Caesar, if you listening or watching for this, man, I need to see some tailgate pics, man.
Yeah.
And don't get too intoxicated before you get inside the game either.
Hey, and don't be on video fighting, bro. Please do not make us. We don't want to make you famous that way. Don't do it. Please don't.
So go down and start yelling 804.
Don't claim them. We don't claim them. People start yelling SBP.
We don't have an SBP bail fund. I think we might have a bondsman in the group, a bail bondsman in the group. I don't know if he come way up there, though.
Call a friend. Phone a friend.
Oh man! Hey, shout out to my bros in the group, man. Raymond Doc and Zach Branch, man. They Steelers are taking on the Buffalo Bills today in another fun matchup.
Woo.
So the over under, the amount of people going to the hospital before the game even starts, between table dives and milk crates, 35.
Have we seen 35?
Yeah.
35 is a good number. 35 is a good number. I'm gonna go under just because I think the police gonna stop him at some point.
Man, the police might be doing it too. You ain't see the video. Cops.
You saw the lady officer?
Yeah.
Recorder. Was that in Richmond? That might have been in Richmond. Yeah. Yes, sir. But I'm looking forward to today's game, man. Especially, well, shout out to our Buffalo Bills fans. Dang, Book and Bang. That's the only two I can think of. Oh, who else? There's a few more, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Cuzzo, Benny. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what your mans can do to start out this season, Josh Allen. Will he be the same guy? Yes, he's going to be the same guy. I don't even know why I'm asking it like it's a question. The same guy. Stephon Diggs, gonna get busy. Check my footwork. Oh man, this is gonna be fun because I feel like people are remembering Pittsburgh as the end of the season as opposed to the beginning of the season. That's probably why the spread is like 6.5. That seemed kind of crazy to me, but guess we shall see what happens at 1:00.
Yeah, you mentioned that footwork, man. So you think about Diggs, Cole Beasley. They done brought in Emmanuel Sanders. They may, as a group, they're in the running for the best route runners, the top 3 receivers in the game right now. So I'm gonna give them that much. Hey, JB said he taking the under.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Wait, we talking about the milk crate challenge?
Yeah, the milk crates and the table dive. Because they coming out there, they pulling out ladders out the truck, everything.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Oh man,
JB said he taking the under, bro.
Not because it ain't gonna be crazy, just because they're not gonna go to the hospital. They're just gonna get up and walk it off.
I gotta ask gambling aficionado Tim. He just said that Beasley is always open. Tim, what you taking the over the under, bro? 35 people from Bills Mafia going to the hospital between table diving and milk crates in the opening tailgate. Let's see what he got.
Man, if I was a Buffalo fan, I would have my own channel, TikTok, Instagram, live every pregame out that joint. Thousands of followers automatically.
Off top, like quick as setting records, man.
With a sponsor, Buffalo Wild Wings as a sponsor. Because Buffalo.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Tim say he taking the over. Somebody come out like 35.5 or something.
I got in an ambulance, but I ain't really go. I didn't go.
Yeah, that's a difference. Like, because then I'm thinking about it. I don't know how to temper expectations because they go hardcore. Yeah. Like, just because they going to go and break an arm and bust a lip and mouth wide open, don't mean them going to the hospital, though. Yeah. I got to rethink this now.
What movie was it when they was trying to check? Oh, was it Bad Boys when they was trying to check his arm? It's like, it was Martin. Yeah. Yeah, that's Buffalo fan.
It's crazy enough, man. Yeah, it's gonna be fun though watching this game, man. Najee Harris debuts. We'll see how the offensive line does. The interesting thing for me, though, we're talking about these Buffalo receivers, is how the Steelers secondary handles this. Because you got names back there like Hayden and Minkah Fitzpatrick. You expect great things, but they've been a little. If it was one part you were ever going to expose against them at certain points last year, before all the injuries, it was certain parts in that secondary. They got a tall task today, though. And my man T.J. Watt, he got paid, so he gonna have Josh Allen running around. But this is gonna be a real fun game, man, between two teams that we know pretty sure that one of them is definitely making the playoffs, and the other one might make the playoff.
High expectations and low patience for both of these teams this year. I think both fan bases are like one way or the other.
I got the Bills 28-24.
You got the thing pretty close under the spread that I mentioned earlier. I actually hadn't even dang prime 34-28 Buffalo.
Hey, JB said he wants to know, is this Big Ben's last chance for a Super Bowl? Because by all reports, he's supposedly in the best shape of his career.
If 11-0 or whatever they were is not the best chance, then it ain't gonna get no better. Last best chance, if you want to call it that. I think last year would have been the last best chance for real. I don't think they have they might have Super Bowl expectations to some, but I just don't think it's realistic. Looking at the conference.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt, Tim. Both coaches played together at William and Mary. For sure. For sure.
Good point. Good
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah. Lot of good notes and stories in this
Yeah,
particular game.
baby. Hold on. The screen's backwards. That's right. Yeah, there you go. I got to flip it backwards. This is ugly. I hold my hand. This is definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. I'm going to turn that way. Anyway.
Seahawks and Colts, another game that we're talking about. I fully expect the Seahawks to have one of the more explosive offenses in the league this year. And it's a tall task today for the Colts, who played very, very well defensively last season. So, whole lot of stuff we're looking for in this game.
You know what I noticed as I was doing the pick'em sheets? I noticed a lot of people had the Colts, a lot more than I expected, I should say. And I think it's because of that defense and the not knowing what to expect from Carson Wentz, but thinking that he could be on the positive side of things, especially against that Seattle defense that was so, what's the word I'm looking for? Struggleish. They were so struggleish over the past couple seasons. So I think that Wentz will be, I don't want to say Wentz will be fine because I've been let down by that statement before. Oh man, I don't want to say a lot about Wentz, bro. I just want to leave him alone, let him find his way. But I think this will be a good game one way or the other, whether it's low scoring or high scoring. I expect it to be on a lower scoring side, as in under 20, 26, under 26 for each team.
Yeah, hey, before I get my score, I want to get back. The guys are kind of in the same vein with you. But the last game, Don said he got 37-23 Buffalo. Ooh. JB said 36-21 Buffalo. So they're expecting some points to be put up in this piece, man.
They got no respect for Big Ben. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, it ought to be fun. But yeah, this Colts Seattle game, man. It's got the potential to be good. You know, we're seeing that they're saying now that Quentin Nelson, the All-Pro offensive lineman, is going to play. Wentz is going to play, and these are guys we were thinking we wouldn't see until the earliest week 5, more likely week 10 or 12, between 10 and 12. And both of these guys are going to come out into the field. Too bad they're not going to have Eric Fisher today because, like I say, John Taylor is going to need every bit of them, everybody he can get to be able to have a good rushing game. But he also catches the ball, really good out of the backfield. So it's going to be a really, really, really interesting game, man. But I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you. The one thing to note, though, we're talking about Carson Wentz. Do you know who the sack leader for Seattle was last year?
No, I have no idea.
Man who just got paid. Jamal Adams.
Really?
Yeah. 9.5 sacks last year for Jamal Adams. That puts him at about 16 over the last 2 seasons from the safety position.
That's bad business, bro. Shout out to him, but that's bad business for the defensive line, bro. Like, that sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, that is crazy. But they're gonna send him today. There's no T.Y. Hilton for the Colts. No T.Y. Hilton for the Colts or Pascal, Paris Campbell. My guy Michael Pittman Jr. They're gonna have to show and prove today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I like Russell Wilson and the boys today, man. I just think they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I think it could be pretty good early though, especially if the Colts try to if they can attempt to control the clock. Taylor, you talked about Zeke should have got the ball the other day. Nah. But Taylor needs to touch it every chance he gets. I want to see the Colts use some. Remember how the Steelers used to use Le'Veon when things was working? Like when it was cooking, running. Right? That's how Jonathan Taylor needs to be used. And they need to use him like that a lot in this game to have a shot. But I'm rolling with Russ and the boys in this one. And I actually think that as good as the Colts were defensively, Russ and them are going to cook. Lockett and them going to cook today. Matter of fact, I'm saying they putting up 31 points today. And while the Colts struggled us a little bit, but give me 31-20, Seattle.
Dang, okay. You feeling very confident on that one, huh? I got 24-20 Seattle. But I can definitely see why people would go the Colts route. I'm not mad at the pick. And if I had to pick an upset, a home, I'm sure they're a dog, home dog.
Right.
I would go with the Colts, but I'm picking Seattle 24-20.
Yo, man, they got to show these on TV that just came through. Anybody who's checking this out, man, you get a chance, check out Bleacher Report. They showing a picture of your boy Stefon Diggs cleats. They are the Wire inspired. Man, got everybody on this joint, man. I think it was Avon on there.
Got to have Omar. Rest in peace.
Omar on there. Bubs. But that's fire. Cleats are fire. Diggs be coming with that goodness, man. I'm telling you. Like,
always.
Coming with that goodness, man. It's fire. So y'all check those out. Got the white and blacks. Man, that is dope. Even the lettering of the Wire is down to the gristle, man. It's nice.
Word.
Shout out to the Wire fans. A shout out and rest in peace to Michael K. You know what I'm saying? Michael K. Williams. No doubt.
I thought you was about to say they showing Crate Challenge in Buffalo.
Now they might not want to put that on TV. That's when that show. Oh, what's the MTV show? Was it Jackass or something like that? That need to be on. I have some clips from what's your boy? Ridiculous. I can't even say the word.
Ridiculous.
You have some clips on that joint, man. But that's crazy. Now they ain't gonna put that on regular TV, bro.
And I'm telling you, a live feed, IG Live, it'll be popping.
Beer run time. I see you, JB. Get that brew, man. Yeah. But I got Seattle in this one, man. It ought to be a pretty good game.
Word.
Cards and Titans today. A lot of receivers in this game that we know. Hopkins and AJ Green, Julio and AJ Brown. This ought to be really fun. And I have this as possibly being, and I say this every time last year and end up being a dud, but I have this being possibly the highest scoring game, or at least one of the highest scoring games of the entire day.
I think I have it as the highest scoring game for real. Mm-hmm. I expect big things. Tannehill, I've been big on Tannehill since he's started playing well in Tennessee. And even before people were like, they were just like, it's the running game. No, Tannehill's been balling. And I think that if anybody else was doing the numbers that he had done between last year and the middle to the end of the previous season, I think it would be a bigger deal. But because it's Tannehill and we saw him in Miami and people questioned his overall game there, then nobody wanted to believe it. But Tannehill gets busy, and he's going to get busy today. Everybody's getting busy today. You get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown, and you run a touchdown. And
fantasy goodness.
Tannehill might run one himself. Who knows? It's going down today. I'm in total agreement on that.
Fantasy goodness everywhere. And I'm hoping like I said, we're getting the Murray that we saw early in the season before he hit that wall. Titans got a few issues on that back end. They've lost a couple of people in that secondary. We talked about that before. So I expect them to challenge these people early and often back there. We don't know how many times, of course, that Henry going to touch the rock. I expect that to be a lot too. But some of those carries may come off because I think they try to force some things to Julio today as well to try to, say, welcome. You here, bro. You one of us. That's what it's going to be like the whole season. We are going to be a problem. But I expect lots of points in this game. But I'm going to take the Titans. I'm going to take Tennessee in this one. I believe in Tannehill, like you mentioned. I believe in the arm a little bit. I believe in the legs. And I believe they're going to put up major points. I'm going to go as far to say they're going to win this game today, 38-33.
Ooh, 38-33. Prime. I see, that's 71. That's 71. I think I actually have a couple more points on that thing. I might have gone overboard. I'm shooting for the stars. But I expect big numbers all over the place. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown. That's what I'm looking for. And the ball's gonna be in the air a lot from both teams.
Put it in the air.
Yeah. I'm 44-31. 44-31. Tennessee. All the
JB said 38-35. So we all expecting some points to be put up in this bad boy.
Yeah.
A lot of points in this one. It's gonna probably be one of the most fun games to watch. The red zone will be lit. It should be lit this game.
I was about to say, if you're on red zone, you're gonna see them people all day long.
That joint might be lit, man. I am interested to watch how they handle this split between Connor and Edmonds in that backfield, though. It's gonna be interesting to see how that goes down.
It's gonna be so much work, though. I think it'll work out. What I mean.
He must be talking about the points. Tim was just his words were just damn.
Y'all out of control. Y'all out of control.
What kind of action get on this joint on seasons? Anyway, so Browns and Chiefs, a game that a lot of people are really excited for, and you know that I am. You know that I am. The question seems to be right now, and I've been monitoring this since before we started, is whether or not Odell is going to play.
Right.
Yesterday, it was like, yeah, they believe he's good to go. This morning, I say he's still questionable. So I don't know. But all that being said, I think the key for the Browns to have a shot in this game is give the ball to Chubb and let him do his thing.
Yeah, that'll be fun. This game will be fun regardless. Like, it's just fun to watch any game that Kansas City is involved in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if they're on offense. Even watching them on defense is fun. To me, I enjoy watching Kansas City play. But watching the offense is crazy just because you never know when a big play is going to happen. And there's going to be a big play or two or three. Although Cleveland was able to kind of not contain, but kind of slow down the Kansas City offense overall in both games, right? In both games that they played. So that's interesting. If there's any time to get Kansas City at the crib, it's going to be today. Like, if you want to get them, you get them today, because it's the start of the season, and everybody's on edge. So I'm excited for this one. I just think it's going to be a fun game, regardless if it's a well-played game or a sloppy game. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. And these are two teams that we will see again down the line, I would think, when we get into the latter part of the whole season.
Yeah, JB, they definitely gonna have to slow down and run that football, man. They need to be a lot of Chubb in this one, a whole lot of it. On the flip side, man, what I'm looking for is how in the world is that new offensive line of KC is going to contend with Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. That is going to be fun to watch how they contend with it. Right now, you mentioned if Cleveland was to win this game, it just spells even more bad news for the rest of the league, because they gonna well, Mike said, I took it personally. They're gonna take that personally, getting beaten the first game of the season. They liable to beat the brakes off the next 7 opponents, right? But yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. We got a lot of things going on with that. The rebuild of offensive line, Mecole Hardman having a bigger role with Kansas City. He's slated as being the starter, as of this week. And it's just going to be interesting. I expect, and I know it's like common sense, but with that pass rush coming, I expect Kelce to get a lot of that quick work. You feel me?
That's a good call. I was just sitting here thinking, just think about Hardman on one side and Hill on the other side.
Be Hills.
What do you want to do, God? What do you want to do? Like, how do you want to approach this thing? Whatever you want to do, we got a counter for you. Jeez, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
If they weren't a big play offense already, even with Sammy Watkins, who has underachieved for most of the seasons he's been in the league, with him on the other side, if they were still that explosive at that rate, God, if Hardman if he just grows into his full self as a receiver overall, ain't no stopping him now. No stopping. Ain't no stopping.
Trouble. Yeah, this is gonna be fun, man. I also want to see Edwards-Helaire. A very quiet 800 yards rushing last year. Like I said, he didn't have the season that a lot of us expected. Him getting into that starting role last year. So I want to see if they try to get him started early, try to counter some of the stuff that the Cleveland's going to bring, man. But this is going to be a really, really fun game. But we're watching to see what goes down with OBJ. And that's going to be interesting. But I still like KC, man. I'm like KC, at home. It's gonna be electric there. They're gonna take what happened to them in the Super Bowl. They're not gonna forget that, and I think they're gonna put it on the Browns, even if this is a close game. Maybe going into the third quarter. I think there's that point in the game where KC is carrying the lead, maybe, and tack on that extra score to make it a two-score game somewhere in the fourth, and Cleveland will have to try to rally, maybe even have to get out of that running game at some point and put a few more passes in the air than they would like. But yeah, I'm rolling with Mahomes, and I'm surprise, surprise.
Rolling with the homies. What you
Uh,
got?
uh, let's go 38. I'm gonna say they're gonna put up 38 points on them. 38-28.
38-28. I got 34-26. 34-26. Kansas City. I just can't bring myself to pick Cleveland. I can't do it. Can't do it.
No doubt, no doubt. So they giving us the love with that one. The last game that we picking for today is going to be the Packers and the Saints, which is going to be kind of crazy because they're playing this game in Jacksonville due to the storms and everything that happened, flooding and everything that happened, of course, in New Orleans. So just kind of crazy. It's going to be a Saints logo in the middle of where the Jaguars are supposed to be today. I believe they did that.
Yeah. So best wishes and shout out and prayers up for the people of New Orleans, for real. Hurricane Ida came through on some Hurricane Katrina light type stuff, for real, and had a lot of people displaced again, and food's scarce and all that, as we expect with hurricanes, especially in that area. So prayers up for them. This game been played in Jacksonville. Of all places to pick, the most boring. No, I don't know a lot about Jacksonville, but I hear it's pretty boring. That's all I'm saying. It's a boring city. So you compare Jacksonville to New Orleans. I don't know. It's not the same thing. But it should be interesting to see what kind of turnout it is for this game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who travels to this game, or if Jacksonville fans are like, it's a game, we going. And it ain't like you got a whole influx of Saints or Packers fans in Jacksonville or in surrounding areas, but it should be interesting to see what kind of crowd they have out there. Jameis Winston. No Michael Thomas.
Peanut butter jelly time. Oh, yeah.
No Latavius Murray. I don't know, bro.
Who that?
I don't know what to tell you.
Anybody at home? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's at the house?
I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, I hate to see it. I hate to see it happen. But again, a lot of people, more people than I expected, I should say, pick New Orleans. And I'm like, y'all know Aaron Rodgers is on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure we're on the same page. And they in at the crib too. This joint will be ugly.
Well, I think a lot of people first, they like the fact that, well, they weren't going to be home either way. Green Bay was going to be the road team, and that Green Bay went 7-1 at home last year, so they managed to get a couple of losses on the road. So there goes your shot there. But yeah, if you look at what Jameis has to work with, is crazy. But I am watching Marquez Callaway. I think this is the time for the young man to shine. He's going to have to be the lead receiver for the Saints. So he has a real chance of making a name for himself when and if ever Michael Thomas plays in a Saints uniform again. This is his time. I don't think Sean Payton changes the offense any. I think he knows that Jameis can be a turnover machine. So you got to give that work to Kamara, man. Kamara's got to get that work, and I think he'll get a lot of that today. The problem on the flip side, though, the Saints can be had in that secondary. They did trade for Roby, Bradley Roby, but he's going to be out for like 6 games. He's been suspended, so he's not going to play. Not that he was going to be a match for Devontae Adams anyway. I don't know if anybody is. He give anybody that work, right? Anybody want that smoke? You know what I'm saying? He's down for it. So I think he's going to run wild. Also think Aaron makes a point to get Cobb a touchdown today. He's going to try to make it a point. I asked for my mans to come back. He went and got him. I'm going to prove you off the bat that we're going to be a problem and it was a right decision. I think he's trying to give everybody some love. So, whereas I don't think it's as far-fetched as people saying about the Saints having a chance to win this game. I really don't think it's that far-fetched, even with everything that's going on with them and the people they're missing. I just don't see see me taking, going against Aaron Rodgers in this one. So I got the Packers winning this game 31-24.
Yeah, you got a little closer than I do, Prime. We won 34-20 Green Bay. And can you see these?
Nah, you got to pull it up.
All right. Uh-oh. Oh,
that's it. Yeah. There it is. The Wire.
The Wire, gents. Them just crazy. Them just crazy. Anyway, 34-20 Green Bay. And that's shout out to our guy, Randall, who put it in the group.
My guy right there.
Yeah, 34-20.
Randall keeps the lights on, bro.
Yeah. Because you don't know. Without Randall, I mean, the information would be a little more sparse. But Randall keeps the information at the top of the page, and especially when things break. Actually, I gave him a shout out this morning when I did the live on TikTok. Updating the page or keeping it lit. So we appreciate that. But yeah, Green Bay 34-20 for me.
So a couple of notes, man, before we peel off. Austin Eckler is officially active. Emmanuel Sanders is officially active today. Trey Sermon and Zach Moss are both inactive today. And Trey Lance, something to watch, is active for the San Francisco 49ers today. So
I heard this morning that there's a Trey Lance package. They got a package and expect him to be on the field.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like it.
Get him on.
I mean, it's going to be his job one sooner or later anyway.
Right.
It's going to be his job sooner or later. And I like, he plays for the Niners, but I like Trey Lance, man. I think he has a chance to be a really good quarterback. What we got? Oh, boy. Oh, no, I thought that was Caesar. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got the numbers there.
You know that's Caesar. He drinking.
How do you see?
I've been drinking.
Oh, boy. Hey, Caesar, don't get arrested up there, man. They already got a raggedy stadium up there. That raggedy stadium. Everything else might be raggedy. The jail's probably raggedy up there too, man. So don't get arrested, man. I tell you, we don't have a SBP bail fund. We don't have that right now, player. So
we have to start that.
So it's gonna be fun, man. I'm getting here and set these lineups, man.
Yes, sir. What time? So we got an hour and 20 minutes.
So he trying not to fight. Oh boy.
He said he trying not to fight?
He trying not to fight.
Caesar want to be famous. He want to be famous. Anybody gets a Caesar update, please let us know ASAP. So we can pin it to the top of the page.
I need you to be out, Caesar, so I can take your money next week. We will talk about that later.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got anything else before we peel out, man?
No, thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to have to get this thing popping. This is the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I know you're excited. Even though your team already played. I'm not looking forward to my team playing at all. But
I think your quarterback will play well, though.
NFL football, I cannot complain. I'm excited that the season is upon us and it's about to go down. It's about to go down.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. This is how we're going to be doing this week after week. It's going to be right here on YouTube. There will be a time where we will have it going dually on Facebook Live and on YouTube at some point. We're working through that right now. But as of right now, everything is going to YouTube. So this is where we're going to be. And I appreciate it. We got a lot of participation today, man. Some of our favorites in there. Anybody who may be watching that's not part of the Sports Bar Podcast group, we are on Facebook. The Sports Bar Podcast, as you see right over my shoulder. Oops, wrong shoulder. Over my shoulder there. The SBP, get with us. Let's have some fun. Sports is our thing, but hip-hop, television, the movies are always in play. And we play a lot of fantasy football, season-long, DFS. We do it all. I'm one of your hosts, Prime. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram when I'm not in the group at Prime SBK.
I am at Source, of course. I almost said it again. At Source, of course, on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, do what he said.
We catch y'all a little bit